So, makasiguro kayong that we are doing all the efforts to prevent this from spreading throughout the country.
Barnes, you were raising your hand.
Sir, just to follow up on the Reuters report. So, you were saying that there were feelers sent to the president. Does that mean that at one point, at least at one point, he was willing to negotiate with terrorists? Just to clarify.
Pakiulit,
Sir, it's a Reuters report na po.
pakipindot lang.
Use a Reuters report po. Because you said that there were feelers sent to the president. Does that mean, and just to clarify, does that mean that at one point, at least at one point, he was willing to negotiate with terrorists?
Talking to them does not mean negotiating. I think the policy of the government is talagang matigas yan. No negotiation with the terrorists to ng ransom, no nothing. Either they surrender or we go to war. Yung filler na yun, because it's a mother trying to talk to the president. Siguro medyo nabagbag yung kalooban niya, kaya gusto niya pagbigyan sana. But at that time, masyado nang malalim yung gulo eh. So marami na tayong kaso. Sabi niya, no more talks because I have lost already so many soldiers and policemen.
This is a question to General De La Rosa, sir. Alan Nawal from Philippine Daily Inquirer. Nagsimula na ba yung SOCO, sir, sa trabaho nila na mag-sampling doon sa mga relatives ng mga missing persons?
Andito na yung SOCO, no, yung Deputy Director ng Crime Lab Group. Andito na. They have started their work already. And slowly ginagawa na nila, but hindi pa gaanong kalakihan yung kanila na-accomplish.
Opo, we just wonder kung may nakausap kasi kami na isang doctor from SOCO the other day. Sabi niya, medyo mahihirapan siguro sila doon sa pagre-retrieve kasi nga hindi pa cleared yung area, baka ma-spoil yung DNA sampling. So may nakipag-usap na po ba kayo sa military, sir, para ma-devise natin yung ways pa paano ma-retrieve yung cadavers na sa mga lugar na considered na siguro natin na cleared?
Andito I'm sure all their efforts are coordinated. Andito sila ngayon, nag-uusap sila sa mga ground commanders dito na military at saka ng police. Nagko-coordinate sila. Mahirap man din na ipasubo natin yung ating mga SOCO technicians, papasukin natin doon. Then, hindi pa talaga cleared. Masabugan yan ng mga IED doon na nakatanim. I-clear talaga muna natin bago sila makapasok. Pero meron na silang na-process. I talked to Colonel Sim kanina. Meron na silang na-process na mangilan-ngilan ng mga bodies.
Okay. It is 5 minutes before the deadline ng ano. We will accommodate 2 more questions. First, tapos next si Chino.
Everybody has his opinion on a certain issue. I respect their opinion, but I also have my own opinion. Sinasabi ni Secretary Lorenzana na this place only deserves the best cups that we can provide. Well, I guarantee you, after na-reassign sila dito, they will become the best cops that they can ever become. I guarantee you. I challenge kayo mga media, makipagpustahan kayo sa akin. Sino makipagpustahan sa akin na kung mamamalo pa ba yung pulis niya dito, mangyayantok pa ba yan? Tingnan natin. Kung mangyantok pa yan dito, talo na ako. Sigurado ako mag-reform yan pag andito na sa Marawi. Sigurado ako, 100%. Magiging magagaling na pulis yan. According to the provincial director, hindi pa rin daw safe. Hindi pa rin daw safe yung police station natin na puntahan. But apparently somehow, hindi na gaanong nakokontrol ng kalaban. But hindi pa talaga fully cleared dahil anytime pwede kang paliparan daw doon ng mortar coming from the enemy positions. So, hindi pa totally cleared. But anyway, as much as you want that to be recovered, mas lalo na ako. Mas lalo ko nasaktan sa police station ko na matagal na talagang hindi namin na-occupy. Talagang gusto namin kunin by all means nga sana eh. Pero hindi lang tayo. Ha? Oh, sama ka. Samahan mo ako. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, may tumawad. Baka pwede nating pagbigyan. Chino, then Kay, then Caroline. The last siguro. Next.
Sir, everybody knows na yung Marawi ang nag-cause ng declaration ng martial law. But the way things are being told to media, pahupa na yung situation, malapit nang matapos, ililapit nyo ba? Magre-recommend ba kay Pangulo na i-lift na ito? Or are there other considerations para palawigin pa yung martial law? In the first place, pabor ba kayo na palawigin pa? Or is there really a need? I understand sa police side, may kailangan pang hahabulin, madami pa. Pero in terms of military and police, and then of course the local government side, sir.
General Anyo and I will be making the recommendation soon to the President. We do not know if it is to lift or to extend. Tinitingnan pa namin yung mga nangyayari sa paligid, not only in Marawi, but all over Mindanao, na lahat rito. So let's wait for that time, and I'm sure that it will be a well-informed recommendation to the President by us.
Chief, or the ALG, on the martial law, sir, kailangan pa ba natin? Understand, madami pa kayong hahabulin mga suspects after this eh. Is it needed?
Kung gusto mong ma-hasten yung paghahabol sa mga hinahabol natin, then I still need that martial law. Frankly speaking, kinakailangan pa natin. But yun nga, sabi ni Secretary Lorenzana, the recommendation coming from the military and the police to the President should be well thought of and very sound dapat yung aming magiging recommendation para dyan, para walang sisihan. Pero kung ako, personally lang, sa akin, sana, para mahabol pa natin yung dapat habulin natin.
Okay.
Yes, as explained by our good secretary of the DILG, that the issuance that the resolution that was issued by the NAPOLCOM was in support of a declaration of martial law, since the date was I think the early June, no? So kami po on the part of the local government of Marawi City, wala ho kaming problem with this issuance, and as you have said, wala din po yung pangalan ko doon. But anyway, hindi naman po kahit naman po matanggal kung ano man ang deputization ng authority or power on the part of the local government, kami po we closely coordinate with the authorities. Wala ho akong issue doon for as long as we got the support of the authorities in terms of fighting criminalities and these terrorists.
Sa part naman ng provincial government, narinig naman natin ang ating mahal na sekretary na i-rectify yung resolution na yan. And nakalagay naman sa amin, tulad ko, nakalagay doon is governor. Ako ngayon ang vice governor. Kaya lahat ng mayors natin may concern din sila tungkol sa resolution. Alam naman natin na yung itong resolution na to, yung nga sinabi nila, medyo matagal na rin, yung June 8. Pero sa part namin, meron lang kailangan gawin para, kasi kailangan lang ng konting investigasyon para kung sino talaga yung dapat nandyan sa resolution yan. Kaya nandyan na yung DILG na ating secretary na i-rectify yung resolution. Sa part naman ng Lanao del Sur, magmula nung nagkaroon ng problema dito sa Lanao del Sur, dumarating na lang yung mga provincial director na ina-assign dito sa Lanao del Sur. Ang concern lang namin, ang gusto lang namin yung talagang gagawa ng trabaho, gagawa ng batas, maggagawa ng maganda dito sa Lanao del Sur. Kaya wala tayong problema kung meron man silang inassign dito, kung sino man yan, importante sa amin, gagawa ng trabaho dito.
We will now have Carol. Sir, may tumawad na last na lang, Alan Gatos after Carol.
Yeah, this is for PNP Chief Bato. Sir, what is your action on the proposal of Central Luzon officials to have this mandatory ID card system for Muslims only?
Actually, that move is locally initiated, no? Sa kanila nanggagaling. Hindi yan dictated namin at the national level. Discarding lang yun doon sa baba. Meron man silang sariling Regional Peace and Order Council, meron silang mga Provincial Peace and Order Council, and yan, so lumabas yan sa pinag-usapan nila. So, unless wala man ako nakita pa na problema, yung ginagawa nila ngayon, lahat ng dumarating doon ng mga evacuees, dinodocument nila. It is being done all over lahat ng provinces, lahat ng mga evacuees, dahil nga extra cautious yung mga LGU sa ibang provinces, pinoprofiling nila, nire-record nila, para makasiguro sila na siguro na wala makapunta rin doon na hindi dapat makapunta. Yan yung kanilang mga move. So locally initiated yan. Hindi po yan mandated by the national PNP leadership.
Does that violate their rights, sir, as Muslims?
Recording lang naman, hindi naman talagang pinipigilan sila. No, you cannot enter our province. You cannot enter our city, our municipality. Hindi naman ganun. Pagbago lang, that's normal. Lahat ng mga barangay captains nire-record nila. Part yan sa kanilang recording, record sa keeping. Lalo na ngayon na may threat sa terrorism, I don't know where's the violation there kung nagre-record ka lang sa mga tao na papasok sa iyong barangay. Hindi naman. Yung mga bagong dating lang yung pinag-record lang. You can just imagine ilan ng Muslim dyan sa Maranao, dyan sa Pampanga, dyan sa Tarlac. Kadami na niyan noon pa. For decades na yan, nandiyan na. 30 years, 40 years. Kaya yun ba, isasama mo sa recording? Hindi naman siguro. Alam ko ang tinututukan niya ng mga barangay captains na record, yung mga bagong dating. Matagal yan, matagal yan. Ma-Muslim ka man o ma-Kristiyano, basta bagong dating doon sa barangay nila, or as part of their anti-crime drive, nire-record nila. Hindi po yun talagang purely for Muslims only. Pati mga Kristiyano, pati foreigners, basta pumasok sa barangay nila, nagre-record skipping sila.
May I share on that? Actually, sa DILG, we are, aside from the three programs na sinasabi ni Presidente during his campaign time, yung concentration natin is fight against corruption, fight against criminality, and fight against illegal drugs. Dinagdagan ho natin ang pang-apat, fight against violent extremism, countering violent extremism. So in our meetings with the Regional Peace and Order Councils all over, most recently was the one last week in Cagayan de Oro for the Mindanao-wide, Mindanao cluster RPOCs. We encourage our local chief executives, actually up to the barangay level, to be vigilant for especially sa mga bagong muka
mga strangers dun sa lugar nila. Whether it's a whoever, Muslim ba yan, Kristiyano ba yan, basta anyone na bago, tinitake note nila yan. Pakilala, para makilala anong business nila. Wala naman sigurong masama sa ganoon. This is just one of the precautionary measures na maiwasan yung pagpasok ng mga undesirable people, like mga extremists, mga ganoon. So baka yan ho yung misinterpret na report about that.
Alan, last question.
Okay. Secretary Lorenzana po. Nabanggit nyo kanina 3 beses kayo na kuryente para dun sa dapat sana deadline nung pagtatapos ng problema dito, yung crisis dito sa Marawi. Kanino ho ba galing yung information ninyo at na-underestimate ho ba ang capability ng Maute kaya ganun yung mga
The second week or third week nandito kami, yung isang barangay kapitan dyan na galing sa loob, sabi niya, tinanong niya ako sa palagay mo, Sekretary, mga ilan yun sa loob na kalaban ng umpisa. Sabi ko, mga siguro ngayon, 400 to 500. Sabi niya, mali. It's about almost 700 yan sa dami ng tao dyan. So, ganun kalaki yung pala yung kalaban dyan. We did not know then at the start, kaya naggawa kami ng estimate kung kailan matatapos. That's why they're still there. More than 1 month already, malapit nang maging 2 months ito So, ibig sabihin, nandyan sila, nakapag-imbak sila ng mga bala, baril, pati pagkain siguro, mga explosives. That's why they're still fighting up to now, and they are still inflicting casualties on our soldiers. The other day, nagkaroon na naman tayo ng isang killed in action, plus several wounded. And it continues every day. And that's why the military is very careful. Of course, they don't want to lose men. And also there are civilians still trapped inside. Hindi namin pwedeng i-flatten yan with bombs at kung ano-ano pang magagamit natin.
Sir, we will now have the closing statement. First from our LGU officer, then from our principals. Sir, if you have closing statement, Mayor and Gov, sir.
Well, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa ating mga good secretaries and of course the military officials for the continuing support na malagpasan natin itong crisis na ito dito sa Marawi City. And also, I'm appealing to our constituents na sana po ay yung ating pagbibigay ng mga information ay dapat po ay yung mga validated ones at para ho hindi tayo makadagdag doon sa mga confusions na ipapalabas sa mga social media. Ito po ang aming apela sa inyo. And we are praying that this crisis will soon be over. Maraming salamat po.
Muli po kami nagpapasalamat sa ating mga secretaries na dumalo dito para mapakinggan ang mga concerns ng mga LGU hinggil sa problema natin ngayon. At tuloy-tuloy po ang LGU, ang 39 municipalities and ang Marawi City sa pagsuporta, sa pagsupro sa mga terrorist na ito. Maraming salamat.
May now hear from our principals, Chief PNP, sir, then Yosek Koy, and then our secretary, sir.
Gusto ko lang ibalik yung aking assurance kayo na sa mga local chief executives, yung mga mayors na maraming dinaing sa amin na mga problema, particularly sa Philippine National Police. I am informed about the weaknesses ng ating local police dito sa Lanao Sur. Rest assured po, we are banging our heads in the wall para lang masolve yung problema na yan. Hanapan namin ng solusyon yan. Material-wise, human resources-wise, everything, lahat ngayon ipopokus namin dito sa Lanao del Sur. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
the Department of the Interior and Local Government is will take an active part in the rebuilding and the recovery of Marawi City.
Yeah. As the fighting here winds down, sabi naman ng mga ground commanders malapit na matapos ito. We are already preparing the rehabilitation plan for this. There will be a survey soon to assess the damages there para magkaroon tayo ng ballpark figure kung magkano ba yung ating gagamitin dyan to restore Marawi, yung mga, especially yung mga infrastructures. The houses, the buildings will take a little bit longer. Siguro ang unahin natin yung mga bahay ng mga civilians na nasira. Yung konting sira lang naman yan eh. We could provide them some materials and some funds to repair them, so to be better. The President has promised to help everybody here to rebuild their homes. And we like nothing better but to return the evacuees back to their homes. Konting tiis na lang ito, we ask the patients of this residents here in Marawi City. Alam ko, anxious na rin yung bumalik dito yung mga evacuees. I've seen their faces last week when I accompanied the President to meet them in Iligan. Talagang aburido na sila, aburido na bumalik, especially the kids. And we feel their pains actually from being away from their homes for such a long time already. So konting tiis na lang. And because of what's happening here, we also apologize for kung mayroon mga actions yung mga military natin na medyo over sa dapat nilang gawin. That's because in reaction to what's happened to them, more than 90 na yung, mahigit na 90 na yung namatay eh. At about 500 ang sugatan. So they're just trying to do their job to prevent more casualties for themselves and also to protect the civilians. Thank you.
That concludes our press con for today. In behalf of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, maraming salamat sa mga kapatid natin sa media.
Yes, katatapos nga lang ng press con nila PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, DILG-OIC Catalino Cuy at Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana dito sa Lanao del Sur Provincial Capital. Sabi ng mga ito, ang main purpose ng kanilang pagbisita ay para tignan ang kalagayan dito sa Marawi at para i-assess kung ano ang tulong na maibibigay ng ahensyang kanilang pinamumunuan. Nandito rin sila para i-address yung mga issues na matatanggap nila. Napag-usapan din ang resolution na inilabas ng NAPOLCOM at ayon sa Provincial Vice Governor na si Mamintal Bombit Alonto Adjong Jr. ay magkakaroon lamang sila ng konting investigasyon sa naturang resolution lalo pa at may nakita silang mga lapses. Samantala nang tanungin naman si Bato kung kailangan pa ba ng martial law dito sa Mindanao, ang naging matigas na sagot nito ay oo para ito ay malansag yung mga teroristang nanggugulo nga dito sa Marawi City. Umaasa rin ang tatlong opisyal na di na magtatagal ang kaguluhan dito sa Marawi City. Para sa Bayan, Kenneth Pasyente.